If your goal is to hit 10 million a year in sales, you're going to need these 8 components in your business, and I can 100% guarantee failure without them. I'll be going through each component step by step, and you'll be able to identify what's missing in your business and what you already have. And I'm willing to guarantee that there's going to be many components that your business is missing. And after I've run multiple 8-figure businesses and helped over 200 people hit over 7 figures in their business, I'm now going to be able to hand over that entire process to you. This video will come from some of the concepts that we teach in our mastermind program that we charge well over 50 to 100,000 pounds per year for. There's absolutely going to be no charge this video. The number one thing that I'm going to ask you for right now is going to be that I need you to sit, pay attention. I need you to grab a pen and go through every one of these sections. And by the end of this video, you will have a clear solution on how to manage the entire sales process of your business. The big problem that we have in the industry is that one person can generate tens of thousands of leads. One great organic post can get you viral. You don't need many people when it comes to generating all these leads. But to close all those leads, you can't do them yourself. Many people who are just selling off landing pages, you can do that for under $1,000 product. But when you're selling high ticket, you're gonna need to have a person to influence them on the call. But you're gonna need an entire system around it. You can't just hire someone and say, sell for me, because if you've done that before, you know that it just doesn't work. And this video is for you, whether you're just coming up to hire your first salesperson, or if you've got 25 to 30 people in your sales team and you think they could be squeezing the orange even harder to get more juice from those same leads that you have. So we'll break down all of these 8 components and what I like to call our sales leaders priorities pyramid. Right then, let's get into it. Let me just show you the entire system as a whole, then go through each component and go through every single part of it in detail. Now, the first thing is going to be company mission, values, and core values. How is that related to more sales? How is that related to you making 10 million? Why would the things like branding exercises have any sort of connection to you making all this money? Well, I'm going to tell you. Think about a boat and think about 5 people on this boat rowing in different directions. And why would they be rowing in different directions? Because there's not one clear goal to work towards. And they all don't row the same way. One of them rows for speed. One of them rows for power. One of them rows because they think about endurance. That's why core values and mission needs to be clear. If you've ever had a job, you're always going to be indoctrinated into the company first. When I worked at Virgin Active, the first week of the company, they just showed me their mission, their history. They've showed me their core values, why they're so important. They had something called a Virgin Active activist, and this avatar that they had in the business was there to serve people, there to always be friendly, was always smiling. And they showed you this archetype of the person they want you to become, and they call it the activist. Now, in your business, if you've not got any of these things in, a clear mission, core values, it'll just be quite confusing. No one knows why they're actually there. They're just there turning up to their job. So we'll be going to that in a bit of detail. Next thing we're going to cover is going to be recruitment, onboarding. We're going to go through a lot of that in detail. We're going to break down exactly what you need to be doing in terms of recruitment and onboarding, show you how we do it at an expert level, how I've done it now for businesses doing tens of millions a year. I'll be showing you data and reporting, which you'll absolutely love, the data and reporting side that we do. Because most likely, if you want to make the right decisions in business, you need to have the right data and the right reporting. The next thing that we're going to cover is going to be ramping up to the KPI. So we'll get them up to the KPI. And how will we do that? When you hire someone new, how will you make sure within the first 30 days they get ramped up to the KPI? We'll go through training and role plays. So we'll go through how you need to be doing the right training and role plays for your team to be able to get them to perform. You might not enjoy doing a lot of this stuff, but it needs to be there if you want your business to really win. Meetings and accountability. Going over how to hold people accountable and how to do it so they actually want to perform and want to work for you. How to actually run your meetings, whether that's a sales meeting, staff meeting, meeting with yourself, where you just look in the mirror and just understand why am I so poor? Why am I so broke? I'll teach you how to hold yourself accountable, not just others. We'll go through leadership. So if you want to build a business that makes 10 million a year, you need to be the right leader. And people aren't going to follow some idiot that doesn't have a clue of where he's going or where she's going. So I'm going to give you the right leadership tactics. And then the final stage of this is where new leaders emerge. And that basically means when you're growing a business that's 10 million a year, you need directors. You need other people who are in charge. You can't do it all yourself. You can't just be the big dick in the room swinging your game and saying, right, everyone just listen to me. There needs to be a system. There needs to be a way for everyone to follow a certain order so it's not chaos. So when you do go on holiday, the machine doesn't break. And that's what I'll teach you. So let's go into the mission vision. I'm going to be really honest with you. For a lot of marketers, for a lot of salespeople, you just want to make the money, and I'm the same. I'm just like, mate, just show me the money. I just want to make £1 million a month. Don't give me any stress. I know I can do it. If you feel that way, you're going to think, why should I listen to this part? You have to follow this part, because I've put it now into over 200 businesses, and if it's not in those businesses, they break. So you have to be doing the boring stuff. So I need your commitment for these next 10 to 15 minutes where we're going to be breaking down why this is so important and it needs to be in your business. Let's get it. So the company mission and vision. First off, what's the difference between a mission and a vision? The big difference between a mission is why you're doing the thing. So why is your business actually there? Why does it exist? My mission is to help CEOs become better leaders. Well, why do I want to do that? Why do I have a mission for my business to help CEOs become better leaders? Well, in my 20s, I was held back in my career many times. I wanted to be a better leader, but no one was there to support me. When I wanted to become a director in a business, I got blackmailed. Someone said to me, do this and then you might get that promotion. Every single time I was looking for great leadership, it wasn't there. So I knew that I see a trend. If I can help people become better leaders, the way I've helped myself try to always become a better leader, I know they will be able to grow incredible businesses. That's my mission. What's yours? So you need to be able to understand your mission. So when someone says, why does your business exist? It's very clear. The vision is where you're going. So my vision is to be the number one sales consulting business in the world. Well, that's a big vision. How will it become the number one? Well, if I don't have a vision that's that big, how am I going to support the growth of many others? So if I've got people in my business who are on, let's say, minimum wage, who are on 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, 50 grand a year, how will those people make 100 grand a year? How will those people make 200,000 a year? Because they're not going to stay at your company if you can't provide that opportunity. And you're only going to provide that opportunity as the company grows. So if your company doesn't have the vision to grow really big, you can't facilitate the growth for others. I know there's people in my business right now that want to make a lot of money. They want to make 10K a month. They want to make 15K a month. But their skills aren't there yet. But by me having the vision that my company will grow, they naturally will fall into more senior positions. As they fall into those senior positions, their skill set grows. As their skill set grows, they then will earn more money. And like I've got a current ops manager right now, and she started off as an ops assistant. She had a clear goal for 6 months. I'll work towards an ops manager title. Why did I set this title for her before she even got the job? Well, I knew my company's heading in that direction and we're going to need an ops manager. So she had a clear pathway on all the things she needs to work on to become an ops manager. And she now will earn more money when she hits that. But she ended up doing the job that she wanted for way longer because she wanted to get the title of an ops manager, but she had no clue what an ops manager is. And as she became aware and as she became skilled and trained, she now gets to earn more money from that. So for me to facilitate that growth for that person, I had to have a vision. And that's why vision is so important. When you look at these absolute psycho tech geniuses, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, do you know what they're doing that's amazing? It's vision. Mark Zuckerberg was offered $1 billion to sell his business, but he didn't do it. He said no. People in his business thought he was crazy. They were like, why are you not selling it? Why are you not selling Facebook? We should just sell it. We're offering us $1 billion. I think it was Yahoo that offered it him. But why would he not sell it? Well, he had a vision that he can grow it to 100 billion, 1 trillion. That's why they say no. Mr. Beast was asked how much would he sell his business for? And he said, if I was offered $1 billion, I wouldn't sell it. Logically, you'd think $1 billion. Well, Mr. Beast's everything that he owns, all of his YouTube channels, all the sub-dub accounts in different languages, Feastables, the drinks, the burgers, the movies, the Amazon shows, all of this would be worth way more than $1 billion. So that's why he said no last year, because he knew the vision that he's got. And if you don't have that vision, you can't facilitate the growth for other people. And you're going to be the type of business owner that blames others. Oh, the sales rep came and they failed and they didn't do it because of this reason. Well, it's because you don't have the vision. You can't hire people if there's no clear vision where you're going. And you'll fall into the same trap again and again until you finally learn that you need to have a vision. So you've got this vision. You've got this clear vision now. Okay, you know where you're going. You know you want the moolah. You know you want to be rich. So what's next? Well, you need core values. The next thing in this pyramid right here is core values. The core values component of this is all around what type of people do you want around you. The type of people I want around me are committed. They sometimes will make mistakes, but they'll own up. They won't lie about it, because we all make mistakes, but we'll own the mistake. We'll improve every time. The people that work with me want to be 1% better all the time. They continuously talk about the skills they want to improve and they want to add. The next core value that we have is speed, proactive execution. I encourage everyone to act as quickly as possible on any proactive ideas, not being reactive. An example with YouTube, we could be reactive and just have a thumbnail, just generate a new thumbnail when the one's not performing, or we can have 5 ready and be proactive. There's a big difference between reactive and proactive, and that's in our core values. And if someone doesn't have those traits, they don't work in our business, because what will happen will be we'll think differently. Have you ever dated a girl and this girl likes you to text her all the time, night and day? She's like annoying. She's texting you all the time. She's like, oh, why are you not texting me? 7 a.m. It's 9 p.m. You're going to be like, is this person crazy? Like, I can't text you this much. But to somebody else, to some other poor lad, he wants to text her all the time. So her core values and what she likes is ideal for that guy. It just wasn't for you. If some girl is texting me at 7 a.m. asking me like, oh, how's my day? I don't want to reply. I just want to carry on with my day. I just want to have my oats and just go off to work. So it's the same thing no matter what you're looking at. Whether it's your business, whether it's people around you, your relationships, your family. You need to have core values and principles. And without them, your business is lost and you can't attract the right people. So this is why we give all of our, and I'll shout out to Ryan Dice, because this is some of the document that we saw in his program, and we really put it over and we adjusted it. And how we use this is completely different. We put in our core values, and we'll put in what is the core values of the business, and is that person representing those core values? Are they standing up and holding those core values in the business all the time? So let's say one of the core values is the speed of execution. The sales rep or the sales team member, his name is going to be there. Is he doing that? Yes, approved. Great. He's good. Is he doing this? Is she doing this? And then we look at the team overall. And then what happens is we look at, wait a second, everyone in this business isn't actually turning up on time to work. That means the core value of commitment is missing. Now we can address it, because we hired them based upon commitment. So what happened? Somewhere in the journey, they got lost. Everyone will stumble. But the core values are there as guardrails to align people back in. And if they're not in your business will get lost. People will lose track. And especially as you grow, when you're making 50 grand a month, everyone's on the same page. When you're making 500 grand a month, now it's diluted. When you're making 5 million a month, it's diluted even more. When you're making 50 million a month, you don't even know the names of some of your staff. So if you don't put those core values in, the business just becomes like a mess. It just becomes this big blotch, this thing that just works somehow, and eventually it crashes and burns. Do you know how many big companies have crashed and burned because they don't have core values? If you ever want to see core values in place, go outside the Apple shop before they open. At 10 a.m. they open their shop. Stand outside the shop and watch them all be there 15 minutes early. No one's showing up late. Watch them from outside the shop. They've got those big glass windows you can look through. So look, and you'll see them having their meeting, and you'll see everyone is attentive. Everyone's paying attention. Are they doing that in your business? They can't even show up to a Zoom call on time. They're showing up 20 minutes late to your Zoom call. They don't give a fuck about your time because you don't have no core values. So the first thing is having those core values in your business. And when you got those core values in your business, people will now give a fuck about the thing that you actually care about. And then you will actually have the people who represent your business down to the mission and vision. Right. So on the pyramid, you know the mission, you know the vision. You got core values. We've got the boring branding stuff out the way. The stuff that you need, the stuff that's boring, you've got it now. So you've plugged that in. The next thing is recruitment and onboarding. The way you hire is wrong. You just will do an interview and think, right, he seems good, she seems all right, let's get him in. There's a specific system that you design for recruiting and onboarding, a repeatable system. Even if you were off work and you weren't involved in the hiring of someone, you will find that it's a clear system when someone gets hired, what they look at on day 1, what they learn on day 2, what they do on day 5, because it's a system. The same way as you test your landing pages, you test your onboarding process for success. So the first thing is actually hiring some sort of scorecard for hiring. So you'll be able to grade what you're looking for. We actually will sometimes help our highest level of clients, which is in our CEO dojo, with their interviewing, and we'll just handle it for them. And some businesses that come on board that are a bit smaller, that need to learn interviewing and need to learn the leadership skills, we will show them how to do group interviews, how to do the interview one. We'll coach them through it. We'll run calls with them. If you're not able to do correct interviewing and onboarding with a clear system, you're not going to attract the right talent. And the first thing is, you're not going to attract the right talent if you don't have a big vision. This is why it comes first. Would you, as a sales rep, if you were a young kid, would you want to work for a company and you said, oh, where are we going? What's the goal? I don't know. We just turn up to work and work every single day. We're not really sure why. They're only going to work for you if you actually have a clear vision, and then you can onboard the right people. You can onboard absolute killers, because they'll be coming into your business every single time ready to win for your vision, because they can also see themselves winning in that way as well. They don't really care about your vision as much as you do, but because their vision represents, will allow and facilitate for them to win as well, they will also do that with you. And then it'll be a joint collaboration. And if you want to go fast, you'll go alone. And if you want to go far, you'll go with people. And you need the right people, right mission, right vision. Now you've got the right onboarding systems, and you know how to hire people, you know how to onboard people. You've built all of that into your business. This takes us probably a few weeks to hand over everything to a business and it's solid. Then they can hire whoever they want with a clear system. And we've done this now for years. You know, I've been hiring sales reps for over 12 years. For 12 years, I've been hiring salespeople. And this system is continuously tweaked. And if you have a clear system, I can promise you the chance of people coming in and failing is massively low, because the highest churn rate of any department in business is going to be sales. So if you can hire salespeople properly, your business will grow. The next thing is data and reporting. This is going to be a bit of a chunky one for you to go through how you go through data and reporting in your business. So I'm going to go through a bunch of trackers and how we track things in the business. You'll need a lot of this stuff in. If you don't have the right tracking, data and reporting, your business is lost. You won't know where it's going. You can't make decisions. When it's time to increase ad spend, you don't know why. You don't know when to do it. If it's like an organic YouTube video that worked, you won't know why it worked. If it was a sales rep that's doing really good, you won't know when to give recognition, and they'll leave because they don't feel appreciated. Having the right tracking and systems in place will allow you to see everything at speed. We do also use specific dashboards that we integrate into businesses. I can't show you that right now, but I will show you a lot of the level 1 systems that we put in. But your business probably doesn't even have the level 1 systems, so I think you'll just need these first. First thing is on the marketing side. You need to have your ad trackers and organic ad trackers. So the ads tracker that you have is going to be able to track all of the data that's coming in from multiple campaigns. So if you're running ads, you might have 6 different campaigns. You might have your high-rows tracking, but you need to know which campaigns are the most effective. And you need to be able to look at the setting data from your setting team and the ad data. The number one metric that we're measuring here is marketing qualified lead. A lead doesn't mean dick, because if you just run a lead form on Facebook and you get 1,000 leads, that means nothing. Let's say you spent $1,000 and you got 1,000 leads. You got $1 per lead. But what does it mean if they're not qualified? If they qualify, they earn enough money, they have the right problem, they need the right thing that you sell, then you know it's qualified. That's the number one metric that we're measuring in marketing. A qualified lead, the cost per qualified lead. Then also we're tracking your organic. So with the organic, we want to track YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you're not everywhere, you're nowhere. You need to be on every platform all the time. You need to be literally hammering them on every angle. You need to be just like constantly, oh shit, he's here now, she's there now. Like, I can't get rid of this person off my phone. It's like having just Tate on your phone and you can never get him off. In 2022, you could not get Tate off your phone. It's like, how is he on everyone's phone? It needs to feel like that, otherwise they won't buy from you. That indoctrination for them to trust you from everybody else, it's only going to happen if you're everywhere. And for you to be everywhere, you need to be having a correct system. And that system comes from you actually tracking everything initially. Then setters, who in some businesses will sit into the marketing department, in some businesses in sales, because they're actually setting up the sale. Setters need a set tracker. So we track everything with setters month on month. Each setter has their own tracker and their own sheet. And we track how many appointments, how many leads, how many dials, what's their conversion from a dial to conversation, what's the conversion from conversation to appointment, what's their conversion from appointment to showed appointment. We're looking at every single thing, because when we look at every single thing, when we measure it every single day, we then can track what's missing. I'll give you an example of this. Let's say your setter is doing 300 dials a day, absolute machine. This guy's a maniac. He's dialing like just some crazy nutcase 300 times a day. The power dialer's pumping it out. But then he's not booking anything. So what's the issue? You will say, oh, well, the script, or he's not trying hard enough. The pickup rate's low. You don't know what it is. So what you do is you look at, right, is he having enough conversations? No. So then it's an issue with the dialing. It's an issue with what he's saying or the pitch. You can eliminate the things that you need to actually fix. And then that gives you clarity on what you need to fix. If there's a high conversion of dials to meaningful conversations, but a low conversion from meaningful conversations to sets on the calendar, that means that the pitch isn't correct. That means that he's missing something in the pitch, or he's not saying the right part of the script correctly, because the sales rep, the setter, is having the conversation, but he's just not booking. Or is it because they're not qualified in the first place from your marketing? You see, systematically we can work out what the issue is, and that's why we can eliminate problems quickly. You've probably been going around the same circles for about 2 years trying to work out what to do correctly, and if you just had one tracker in place, you'll be able to do it. The sales tracker. Even experienced salespeople hate admin, hate tracking, and they hate it because it's seen as a non-money making exercise. But I can tell you, this is where the money is. You'll put in where the call was, what the call's name was, when you did it, how you felt, what was the objection, and the link to the AI call recording. And with this, over the course of a week, you'll be able to see trends. You'll be able to see trends, which is, oh, they're not closing every time because of, when I listen to the calls, it's always a pitch, or it's always this reason. You look at the objection, look at the Fathom link, and quickly eliminate why is it they're not closing. You might have a superstar sales rep that's closing at 20% because he's just missing one thing. One nudge, when you listen to it, you look at the tracker, instantly, boom, 35%, maybe 40%. And that superstar can't shine because you as a business owner don't track shit. So that's the next thing, the sales tracker. Commission tracker. Right, when you're making like 50K a month, you think, right, I know how many commissions I need to pay. There you go, I'll just send it. But when you're making 500K a month, there now needs to be a validation process. Do you know every salesperson will see opportunities to skim off the top? Not everyone will do it, but they'll see it, that you don't really pay attention to the tracking. You're not going and putting your Stripe data in and validating and cross-referencing Stripe data to commission data, because things get put through the cracks. We worked with a business recently, and at the end of the month, the sales reps would go back and make changes, because you can see them on Google Sheet. They would go back and make changes to the early few days of the month and add in an extra commission, and they wouldn't check it. This is why we added a validation process on every Friday and provided them with a dashboard and provided them with easy tracking for commissions, and we hand this to them. You might not need this at 50K a month, but you definitely need it when you're making $1 million a month. You definitely need it when you're making 400-500 grand a month. So you need this commission tracking in. The next thing we put in is, obviously you've seen there's another version of the commission trackers. An end of day checklist. We have a thorough end of day checklist that we put into businesses, and it's very clear what they need to do, when they need to do it, how they need to do it, and there's checklists for every single thing, and we just hand all of those over. Setters, closers, ad data, organic data. There's an entire checklist for everything, and then you just go simply like tick, 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 boom. Okay, I've got all those things, now I can make the money. And because you don't have that system clearly mapped out, that's why you're missing out on so much revenue. Payroll tracker. As your team grows, you will need to know how to manage your payroll and expenses. We do have other expense trackers depending on the model. We have like a profit tracker as well, on how you can give incentives, on how much profit you can predict to be given your business. So you know how much incentives to give. Do you know how many businesses we looked at and they have incentives that hurt their bottom line and put them out of profit? Can you believe it? Just because they don't measure things properly. So having all those trackers properly. And then this is our like sales hub. What we create here is, with all of our businesses that we work with, that we do this fractional sales directing with, we'll become part of their business. So we will join them in the Slack channel, create a hub, put all the trackers in one place, and continuously monitor the business. It's as if that you've got a sales director watching everyone, the setters, closers, sales managers, CEO. We're monitoring everything at every hour. So then that way, if there's any issue, we start to predict it. And because we use a lot of AI, we can then predict the things that you will do wrong in the future. We will be able to predict you might start having a declining close rate because the team's not motivated, because we can see it's trending downwards. But we monitor everything with the business. So that is mainly right here. We've covered the bottom of this pyramid. We've covered company mission and vision, core values, recruiting and onboarding, data and reporting. You now know how to do those 4 things. If you're still here, now we're going to dig into ramping up to the KPI. Right. When you hire someone, there needs to be a 30-day plan of everything that you need to do with them when they're coming in, setter or closer. So what we do specifically to help every business is we put in a ramping up guide, which is a checklist. So we'll have like a clear checklist on, this is one for like a closer, on everything that needs to be given to the closer beforehand, and they will write it, they will tick the status. So we have the sales rep go through the status bar and say, yep, I've got that, I know this, I know that. Then what happens is, by the end of the first month, because they've been onboarded and ramped up to the KPI the right way, if something goes wrong, you'll look back at their checklist and say, well, you put completed, so it says that you know how to do this. Can I ask why you're doing it incorrectly? And that level of accountability, you can't fake it, because we allow them to say, yes, I know it. And then you hold them accountable to be able to get them to press completed for everything they need to know. So we map out a 30-day plan for custom for each sales rep. So when we hire each sales rep for any business, we look at how they actually came into the business, what kind of experience they had, what kind of ramp up guide we need to give to them. We design it so that business, that sales rep can really shine, or that setter can really shine in their first 30 days. We want them to absolutely smash it. So we'll provide them an entire ramp up guide, an entire checklist, an entire format so they know what to do step by step. And like a quick example of this is where when the day they start, they'll go through company specific SOPs. So like everything they need to know about the company, mission, vision, and all that stuff first. Then we'll do role specific SOPs. So everything they need to know about their role, like what they need to do on their call, what they need to do off the call, like notes, how they're going to do it, how they're going to conduct themselves, how they're going to show up to meetings. And we map that all out for them so it's super clear. And we make those Loom videos so when they start with your business, they know exactly how to get ramped up straight away and hit their targets. And the quicker they get ramped up and hit targets, the quicker you make money. You want to see an ROI in you hiring someone. You invest your time and money to hire someone, and the ROI is them performing. But most people just do their part poorly, and then they blame the sales rep for not really smashing it. So that's ramping up to the KPI. Then training and role plays. Now, it's very hard for us to say to a business, train your salespeople, because you don't know what good training is. So what we do is we completely do it for them. We train all of the setters, all of the closers, all of the DM outbound team, all the sales managers, all the CEOs separately. And we do that because for us to get the best results from people, we got to give them training. The truth is, we absolutely love sales training people. We love sales consulting, which is what we do with a business owner. But the sales training part, it's like my core passion. That's what we do. That's what we live for. And because we're so passionate about it, the calls that we have with sales reps are incredible. We get sales reps showing up to calls who are 10 years in the game, who are just become newly qualified, and we get them to do role plays and drills. They're not going to find that experience anywhere else. A sales rep will be able to get sales trained with us, and we'll be able to customize the training to all of their offers. And they'll never be able to do that level of training anywhere else without spending all the money. And because you're providing that to the sales reps, they're not going to leave your business, because they're working for a business that's giving them training. That's giving them not only the ability to make money, but also giving them the training to be able to make that money. And that level of loyalty that your team will win with you, simply because you've provided them the tools, you'll find that they'll just be so committed to the process with you. So, and then for sales managers, that's like a big component, but I'm going to talk about that on more the leadership side. But we actually train all the sales managers in all the businesses and all the CEOs. Some CEOs will join, like if it's a business doing 50 grand, 100 grand a month, they'll join on the sales manager call. and if they're making over 200 grand a month, they probably have like a sales manager. The sales manager will join. If they're making more than 700-800 grand a month, they might have like a CRO, sales director, CMO, and those people will join the call as well for more leadership training. And that leadership training I'll just speak about in a second. Then the next thing is meetings and accountability. You need to be able to provide the right meetings and accountability. So how are you going to hold those meetings? Well, what we do is we design one-to-one documents, and this is the one that we use for our business, where they can self-manage themselves. So like a sales rep will come in and be like, what's the challenge that I'm having? So you can see an example here with someone that was having a challenge in our business. What's the possible solution? So they write their solutions. You might write your recommendation, any notes from the conversation, and action steps what they need to do next. This is the best way to self-manage. And anyone who self-manage themselves doesn't need to be told what to do. And the types of people that you want in your business are the ones that can self-manage, not to be drip-fed information all the time. So if you couldn't attend to your team for a day, for 2 days, the machine keeps working. They don't wait and say, I wasn't sure what to do, so I just thought I'd sit and wait. That type of business, that is actually most businesses. Just people sat on beanbags waiting to be told what to do. Sat in breakout rooms playing darts. They're absolute garbage companies that never grow. And companies that have high accountability and self-management, they're the ones that grow. So we identify what is the problem in each business. Is it by looking at each sales rep, and we analyze each of the sales reps with your support. Are they hitting KPIs? Are they turning up to meetings? Are they turning up to the guided growth training? Are they a team player? Are they doing the CRM and admin? Are they eager, and are they a cultural fit? Then we can score different team members, and we can work out, if we look into the one-to-ones for your sales team, if the one-to-ones are there and the underperformance eliminator is correct, we know what's missing and we know what you need to do. And to be honest with you, because of these systems, you'll be able to know exactly what you need to be able to do, because it's very obvious. Oh, I'm missing. Everyone in my team doesn't do their CRM. Oh, it's because I, as a business owner, also don't really care that much about CRM and admin. So why would anybody else care? Oh shit, we can't actually make good decisions because no one's actually doing the CRM. We can't actually follow up because no one's doing the CRM. When we do get a call back from someone, we don't have any notes, so we can't actually have the conversation with them because we never wrote the notes down. All these problems happen simply because there was one error from your part first. So we make sure none of that can happen, and we truly educate that business to how to hold meetings and accountability. The last section on here, before I talk about the new leaders emerge, is going to be leadership. Now, one part of the leadership is where we train all the sales managers and the CEOs. One part of the leadership is going to be where we actually will show management tactics. This one was from Peter Lencioni book that we actually teach some of their concepts, and we actually give material as well. But leadership, no one can just give you a course and you watch it and then you become a better leader. Leadership is continuous work. It comes from you actually making the right decisions and having the ability to inspire others to make the right decisions. And that's what a good leader is. So for a lot of people, for 90% of people, they think it's the lead. They think it's the salesperson. They think it's the setter. 90% of the time, it's just the leadership. So we put a lot of heavy focus into building the right leaders. The program is called Sales Leaders Academy for a reason. And then we're able to systematically put what is missing in your game to become the right CEO. What kind of things do you need to learn? Do you need to be able to do for you to be able to truly grow your team? And if you do all of those 8 things that I showed you, if you do all of them, and we obviously have a client journey. So if I just show you this, when someone works with us, they might just start needing their first sales rep or their first new revenue breakthrough, all the way to having a sales manager with 7-8 reps under them. So we have a journey for each one of the phases. 0 to 50K, 50K to 120K, 120K to 400K, 400K to $1 million a month, different journey. So we systematize how we actually are able to support a lot of the businesses that we work with. Because remember, I've done this now for a long time. I've been in sales for half my life. Half of my life, I've done the thing that you're trying to learn in 6 months. So if you simply implement a lot of this stuff, I think it'll save you 5 years. I honestly think that you'll save 5 years of trying to guess it. I've been running my business now for about 3 years. Some things I've just figured out that I could have just paid for years ago. And because I don't want you to make that same mistake, that's why I've made this video. And new leaders emerge when you have all of these things in place. When your sales reps and setters are supported, you'll then have people who will rise up in the business and say, shit, you know what? I want to be a manager. I want to make even more money. Because you had the vision in the first place, because you had the mission there, and because the core values were there, they facilitated everyone to be able to win. You made the money. Now more people want better jobs and they want to become leaders. And now what happens is you win your time back. You can go and just start doing your own thing on another business or do some private equity model like Homozy. You can go and just start like shooting darts on a Friday and not worry about work. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do with your time, you can now do because you put all these systems in place. That is the sales leader's priorities pyramid. If you don't have it in your business, that explains why you're still broke and still stressed about money. If you put all of these things into your business, you'll be smashing it and you'll win forever. If you need help implementing these systems into your business, click the link below. You'll see our landing page. You'll see an ability to be able to get in touch with us. Book a call. You might be lucky enough to speak to me. I might not take a lot of calls. Sometimes I do jump on. It's a luck of the draw for you. So if you jump on, we can discuss your business. What we will do is audit everything for you and we'll see what you have and what you don't have. And if we can help you, we'll give you an offer. And if we can't help you, we'll give you some free guides and tell you to piss off. If you want to see more videos like this, look at the editor. There's made an incredible end screen. Click on the next video and you can watch more amazing videos like this. I'll catch you in the next one.